hope you're doing well. Today is the 11th of January 2023, and I hope you're having a very good day. I hope the year is going well so far. If you're watching this in the later time of the year or in a year other than 2023, well, hi, this is how I looked in 2023. This is how things were going in 2023. So today I'm going to be talking about the cars that were hot cake in 2022, the best sellers in 2022. Now, the cars that I'm going to be talking about, these are the cars that have been bought both in the bond, outside the bond, but in a newer state, a fairly newer state. Okay, these are the cars I'm going to be talking about. The cars, if anyone went to the bond and they wanted to buy the car, that would be the car. And if anyone wanted to buy a car at a higher budget, not in the bond but from someone that bought it from the bond at a higher budget, and they are buying it in a fairly new state, that would be the car. So I'm going to be talking about the cars that have been hot cakes in Uganda 2022. Now these cars might still be hot cakes, okay, but in the years that because right now we have a law in Kampala that says you cannot import a car that is less than 2009 model. Okay, that's just the law. And last year they were importing 2008, I think. So now you cannot import a car that is older than 2009. So and cars keep getting more expensive every year, just like that. So new cars are more expensive, old cars are more expensive, and just like that, the situation keeps going and going. So I'm going to be talking about the cars that were in hot sellers. They're still hot sellers though. So that's one thing you need to understand. And now they're more expensive because the models are better. It's 2009. People are buying 2008. We just bought a Succeed in December. We bought it at 1.5. Yeah. Now if you're buying a Succeed 2014, you'll probably buy it like 35 or 36, depending on where you buy it and depending on the condition. Yeah. So there are so many factors, of course, that influence the prices. So I may talk about the price of a car, I may not talk about it, but just know this car was a hot cake. So if you're looking to buy it right now, chances are high that it's going to be highly priced. Not because it's not anything special, but it's because it's a hot cake. Okay. Now the car I'm seated in right now is my 2001 Corolla. Of course, there are 2007, 2008, 2009 Corollas that look way better. They give way better fuel mileage, and they're much more comfortable because they are newer models and technology keeps improving. You get. So the Corolla was one of the cars that were hot cakes in 2022, and just know that every car that was hot selling in 2022 means it either looks nice, drives nice, or it has been proven to be reliable. There's nothing about it. So you see a car that is very common on the road, it means that it's either very reliable, people like it so much because it looks nice and all that, or it's cheaper than the alternatives, and then it's treated as an alternative. If you cannot afford this car, then buy this one. So let's just go through the list to make sure that we don't waste a lot of time. And just for you to understand, Toyotas are always the best sellers in Uganda. It doesn't matter if Suzuki made a very good car, Ugandans might not even know about it because, well, we are busy buying Toyotas. You get what I'm saying? And Subaru made a very nice car. Ugandans may not even know about it because, well, we are busy buying Toyotas. It's just that because Toyotas have been proven to be very reliable. So let's just get into it. So I think the one car that really sold a lot in 2022 was the Toyota Corolla Fielder. The Fielder, of course, it comes in variations of 1.8 and 1.5 cc. It's 5-seaters. You don't find the Fielder that is a 7-seater or anything. It's 5-seater. It's a wagon. You can call it a wagon, and it's very comfortable, by the way. Starting with 2006 models and above, they are very comfortable. There is a 2000 model, 2001 model, 2002, 2003 that looks like my Corolla. Not so comfortable, but it's comfortable enough. But then the 2006 model and above, those car babies are very comfortable and they look really nice. They have really nice interiors. So that's probably why it sold. It started by selling at around 25 million. But as I speak right now, if you don't have 36 million, you can't get it out of the bond. And right now, of course, if you found a 2008 right now, you probably get it cheaper because they're trying to get rid of them, because now they have to be selling 2009. That's just the law and how it works. So Toyota Fielder was a hot cake. Then we had a Toyota Premio, and you know Premio has been a hot cake since way back, because the Premio, the first generation, was a hot cake. And the reason why people like the Premio is, of course, they will tell you that it's very fuel efficient, which is not a lie. It's fuel efficient, but it's a very reliable car. Tefa Premio tefa osobola ogivuga ebbanga n'ebbanga nga tekoze eki nga tekufuddeeko. So you need to understand that the Premio it's not accidental that it's a hot cake. So the Premio was also a hot cake, especially this 2008 model. Tuunze nnyo, there is what they call the sea light. Kati ate wezigenda za advancing nga zivayo mu sea light, nezeyongera they become bigger, they become more spacious in the interior, they look more sexier, then they take bigger tires. Kugamba ogituulamu ng'otudde mu motoka. But of course the accident that happened yesterday, if you're watching this in 2024 and you're not watching it like the day I upload it or the next day, you probably don't know the accident that happened yesterday, which was the 10th of January 2023. It rained a lot, and in Nakawa at a bond, the fence fell on cars, and that bond owner lost a Premio, he lost a Wish, you get. Now, probably, if you're watching this in like 2035, the Wishes are not even cars anymore, or they are the Ipsams at that time. So Ipsam. Anyway, let's go back to the list. So the Premio has been a hot cake, and just buying a used Premio US series, you can even get it at 20 million. That's how pricey they are. I don't want to guarantee the price because depending on the demand, and that's what happens. But we bought a USZ for one of my followers here. We bought it at 19.5 million Uganda shillings. And it was very good. Because it was cracked. Natekamu alarm, and he drove away, and he's still driving it. He has no complaints. Yeah. So apart from that, then there is the Toyota Wish. Yeah, the Toyota Wish has also been a hot cake in 2022. Tunze. Of course, there is a new one called the Valvematic as I speak. And the Valvematic is very friendly on the fuel, but you need to know that the more advanced the technology gets, that means that, of course, the more problems it might come because it's electronic. It's mostly electronic. So, amasanyaza agogatuuka ne gafa. So olina okumanya nti ejja kuba esobola okutawaanya sometimes mu by'amasannyalaze, but if you drive it, notakiza every wiring person to tamper with it, you'll have a lot of peace. Give it the right fuel, togenda ng'onywa. You can find a petrol station called Arthur n'onywawo amafuta. Kati Arthur akuwe mafuta ki? Of course he has to mix kerosene atekemu ku tuzizi to get profit. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, the Wish has been a hot seller. All models 2009, 2008, you get, and even the Valvematic, which I think started at 2010, has been a hot seller. So if and it's not an accident, by the way. All the cars that I'm talking about being wholesalers, it's not an accident that did I just say wholesalers? All the cars that I'm talking about that are hot cakes, it's not accidental that they are hot cakes. It's not accidental that there are so many on the road. It means they are simply reliable. You get, I uploaded, I did a live where I was talking about the most reliable cars of 2022 according to consumer reviews, and Toyota was number 1, then Lexus was number 2. You get, but of course Lexus is a luxury brand, so it's expensive. That's why it's not common on Ugandan roads. So the other car that has been a hot cake has been the Toyota Alphard. Yeah, now I know you know the Alphard is a very good van. It's 7 seaters. It's almost a newer, but it's much bigger, much more prestigious, and most of them are 4-wheel drives. And people have been driving them, and they seem very reliable because they don't get a lot of problems on the road. It's very rare to find an Alphard broken down on the road, and it probably has to do with something that they're expensive, 40, 50, 60 million. You get depending on which model you buy and where you buy from and the condition you're buying it in. You get, but the Alphard has also been a hot cake. Yeah, and it's not accidental that it's a hot cake. It might have to do with the comfort, and the Alphard has a special feature with which also the Sienta has. You press a button and the sliding door opens itself. You get, yeah. So the other car that has been a hot cake, of course, it's a Harrier, Toyota Harrier. The Kawundo, of course, there is the other old model which is getting phased out, Katiara, especially when you find the 3000cc model. But there's the Harrier Kawundo. It of course has two versions, 2.4cc, 3.0cc. The 2.4cc of course sells more because of the fuel consumption eba wansiko okitegeera. But and when you go to buy cars, you have to understand that when you're buying a car, color is very important. If you the price you buy a white or silver car is not the price you buy a black car or a blue car or a purple car. Those colored cars, they sell cheaper than the silver or white counterparts. Yeah, so just know. So, but the Harrier has also been a very, very hot cake. It goes for between 50 to 70 million depending on which model you buy, of course. Champara UG. Yeah, so the other car that has been a hot cake, the Spacio. The Spacio, starting with the first generation, the Spacio has been a hot cake. That's just how it has been. And it's not accidental, it's very reliable. The Spacio also has variations. In Uganda, we have 1.5 and 1.8cc. It also has a 7-seater and then a 5-seater. You get what I'm saying? And the Spacio has a 2.0cc, but we don't have it common in Uganda. Ugandans won't buy it. They mostly want to buy 1.5cc. Nayatina is very common. But when you're buying a Spacio, there is a 1.5cc and then there is a 1.8cc. I recommend 1.5 because 1.8 in a Spacio, you get it. It's too much power for nothing. You don't really need that much power. So it's a hot cake. Currently, it's about 35 million and above, depending on which model you buy. But of course, I know that's why you find that people are buying newer models of the cars. Then there is the Toyota Sienta. Okay, Sienta na yono motoka a hot cake since starting with 2020. I think it gained popularity. People started buying it. One reason they buy it because it's a good family car. It's a 7-seater. But that's also a disadvantage because it has a small engine, 1.5cc, and people overload it in the Vegeta engine. The other disadvantage with it is that it's a CVT, and normally people that buy those small cars, they don't want to maintain their cars. Katajagenda ku share, bamgambe tuchuse hydraulic akkirize batekemu the poor quality of hydraulics, and just like that, emotoka ajono. The gearbox is 4 million by the way to replace it. So just know before you buy a CVT gearbox. Even Premios now have CVT. Even the new Wishes have CVT. The Alphard has CVT. Many new cars actually have CVT gearboxes. But CVT gearboxes, the gearboxes should be very careful with. You don't just service your car because your mechanic has told you to, or because the Shell person has said, or the petrol station person has said, or the service station person has said. So be careful when you buy a CVT gearbox. Don't just service it. They even say that the CVT gearbox that comes with your gearbox is supposed to be lifetime gearbox. That's what they say. So unless it has leaked and the level has reduced, I would actually advise just drive your car. The other car that has been a hot cake, the Ractis has been a hot cake. People are buying it because, well, it's a 1.5cc, so it's very friendly on the fuel. And if you maintain it properly, it will give you very good mileage. My Corolla is a 2001 and gives me 15 kilometers per liter, even when I use SC. So just imagine what the Ractis in a newer model. It has don't buy the 1.0cc Ractis, buy the 1.3cc Yenunji and above. Normally I tell people when you're buying a car, don't buy lower than 1.3cc because the model can engine. You get it. But the Ractis has been a hot cake. And then also the Passo. The Toyota Passo has been a hot cake. I think because of the fuel crisis, the fuel has been very highly priced. And then people were resorting to buying cars that are fuel friendly. Then that's how the Passo came in the back of looking, and people are buying it. They are mostly buying the 1.0cc. Disadvantages Calico. The 1.0cc is not a car to drive if you continuously give people lifts, if you continuously lift things in your car, if you are a heavy driver and leave the 1.0cc car, buy 1.3cc car. Is what will give you peace. Yeah. So but ne pass bad day yo. Then banange the MArkXs. People keep saying MArkX consumes fuel. But the MArkX has been on the road. What they call and I think it has to do with the comfort, but also it doesn't consume as much fuel as people say. MArkX say because it's 2.4. What do you expect? It's a V6 or V8, but it's a 2.4cc. What do you expect? It can't consume like a Corolla, but it's a good car, it's comfortable. And probably the other disadvantage is that it's rear wheel drive. but there are those that are four-wheel drive. Now, four-wheel bejja kunywa amafuta baba gwebera ngo uchimanyi. Four-wheel drive cars actually consume more fuel than two-wheel drive cars. Be in the know before you buy a four-wheel drive MArkX. Yeah, then of course the RAV4, and the RAV4 has always been a hot cake. Even the first generation of the RAV4 was a hot cake. People wanted RAV4s, one because it's an SUV omuntu abeera waggulu, and for the ladies they normally say that they want cars that are up because waliya wansi abalengerawo. They don't want to use their senses of like cutting motoka njituuse kayagala abenga alabayo. Probably that's why women love SUVs, because they are easier to drive. Yeah, but the RAV4 has also been a hot cake, and now the RAV4 brought VVTi engines which are very good. They're good on the fuel. So we've got 2.0cc na ingolinga have got 1.8 because of the fuel, which is very fuel friendly. Of course, the Land Cruisers, all Land Cruisers have been hot cake. First of all, the people that buy cars and they want to hire them out, those ones buy the Land Cruisers too much. And also people that want to just buy SUVs and right now they buy the Land Cruisers. If you're watching this in 2050 probably, and the cars I'm talking about you don't know the images, I show the images, I think now you start to relate. Yeah, then of course, I was forgetting about the Toyota Raum. Nako katuonze, but the Raum people don't really like it because they say it's very weak when you're going uphill. But that's because Bakati Kanyo, they overload that car. But that car is okay for its power. It's a 1.5cc car. What do you expect? You get. Then of course the VITZ, the almost all-time favorite. The VITZ, the first generation was also good. But these generations that come, they are much more comfortable. They look sexier. They are bigger. So it's much more prestigious. It's not the other small VITZ above me. You get what I'm saying? So the VITZ has also been good. Now, of course, there is a counterpart of the Harrier, which is the Kluger. Hey, Kluger tunze. And if you didn't know, the Kluger is the same as the Harrier Kawondo. The body, chuka, the engines and all those things are the same. It also has 2.4cc and 3.0cc engines. Kluger ne Kawondo bye. It was just that the Kluger is cheaper than the Kawondo when you're buying. Yeah. Then, of course, Toyota nganzimalayo, there is the Toyota Hiace van. Jituita drone. Tunze nyo, first of all, because two companies are buying them, chikigete zichaja, but also the guys of taxi business. Na oba jigura. Nina abantu abagala ovuga vani za mezamba, so many business people are buying those drones. And the drone, it's recommended that you buy a drone from the bond in Ampia. Togula drone yetambudike jakuta wanye kutameno kuta. But it has also been a hot cake. Then Mercedes-Benz, I think the Mercedes-Benz E-Class and C-Class have been hot cakes. Is a more okay bit because, well, when Mercedes-Benz is a Mercedes-Benz, you know. I am totally perplexed. I don't know if I'm using the right word. You know, English is funny. When you go to get perplexed, but I'm totally perplexed. No, I should not be using perplexed. I'm astonished. No, I should not be using astonished. Yeah, Mercedes-Benz. When I see a Mercedes-Benz, my heart skips a beat. Mercedes-Benz is a car, by the C-Class. But both those models, E-Class and C-Class, have been hotcakes. Why? Because they're too comfortable, okay? And then Mercedes-Benz is not too expensive to buy. It's still 35, 40 million, you get a Mercedes-Benz. You get, Then, Mazda, I think the Mazda Demio has been a hotcake. There is also that Mazda that they buy, Mazda Biante. There's that Mazda Biante. It's a van. It's almost like a new one. But I don't recommend it though. If you're going to buy Mazda, let it be a small car that you can manage, that you're buying because you cannot afford a VITZ and they're giving you a Mazda at 18. The VITZ is 27. So let me just buy a Mazda. But don't buy a Mazda expensively because they are problematic when you're trying to maintain them. Then Subaru has been another popular car on the road, of course. But of course, like the Consumer Reviews 2022 said, the Foresta is the most reliable car, and of course, the Foresta has been the hot cake. Most Subaru zezo. But what can akamoro ka akarara kano ka Subaru Impreza? A friend of mine is actually driving it. The Subaru Impreza Sport. People are buying those cars. Which take it, I think, because they look sexy, fuel friendly, and all that. But I don't like the comfort of that car. But go on and buy your car. I take a Ghana. So that's a list of cars that have been hotcakes in of course in the Pro Box. The Pro Box has been bought a lot. Even the newer, but now people are not really buying the newer because there's Alphard. So people are shifting to Alphard, which take it. But the newer has also been there. Pro Box succeed in Azoba Ziguze. There is this counterpart of the Wish and Jada Vidabanag. but generally as a model case, if you're going to be you're expecting to import your own car from like Dubai or Japan or Jirete, or no, probably resell it or give like a year and sell. Those are the cars that people have been liking, and probably they're the cars that they still like as we speak. So Kati, what I would recommend is that don't go and start buying those rare cars. Chevrolet. Don't buy BMWs. Of course, BMW have been selling, but how many BMWs do you see on the Ugandan road today? You get. Of course, the Volkswagens, people have been buying the Mark II, the Golf 5, the Volkswagen Golf 5. People have bought it a lot because it's a really nice car. But normally, I don't recommend that my followers buy Golfs because maintenance here, even the mechanical Golf, but the mechanics of Golfs, they're not trustworthy. So just go on, if you want to buy a car, go through that list and then see which car you would actually decide to buy. Until next time, thank you for watching. Ciao.
I'm Arthur for the love of cars. I'm passionate about cars, and I want to make sure that you, your brother, your sister, your friend, a family member, a relative, distant cousin, you don't make mistakes when you buy cars. This channel is filled with a lot of information to help you know what you need to know before you buy your next car. However, if you don't want to go through all this information, I provide a service called pre-purchase inspection. And we come and make sure that you get a good deal when you're buying a car. We come and make sure that we inspect the car to make sure it's in tip-top condition, but we also make sure that you buy at the right price. Next week, I also sell tracking devices. I also sell car alarm system. The tracking devices, car alarm system, pre-purchase inspection service, go car and you save. Trust me, when you use Arthur to inspect the car you're going to buy, chances are high you will save some millions of shillings.